чертов! Будь ты проклят! Иди, идиот, трахать тебя и всю семью! Говно собачье, жлоб вонючий! Дерьмо, сука, падла! Иди сюда, мерзавец! Негодяй, гад, иди сюда, ты говно! Жопа!
Опачки!
Будь ты проклят! Дерьмо, сука!
Opatchki.
Hello and welcome to the Opatchkast, the Average Joe's weekly Tarkov podcast. I am one of your hosts, Dirty.
And I'm High Mark.
Today we're going to be kind of talking about what we've been doing the last 2 weeks because we kind of took a break in the middle while we were figuring everything out. And then, you know, the normal Tarkov topics. But at first I wanted to talk about Lost Ark.
What?
Because
The gigantic elephant in the room? Is that what you want to talk about?
yeah, I just want to go over it. It's kind of
Okay.
taken over our gaming lives at the moment.
Yeah. No, it's not. Yeah, absolutely. Although, let's just talk about it as as a game first, and then I'll kind of talk about my thoughts on it. Go ahead, because you've gone deep. I'm maybe stepping back a little bit.
Yeah. So I'm sure everybody has heard of it, but it's a MMO ARPG. So it's an isometric RPG. And there's not many MMOs in that kind of space, which is kind of cool. Because I've loved Diablo, and it's a lot like Diablo, and it has Monster Hunter in it. It has a lot of different things. The PvP is fantastic for an MMO, in my opinion. And it's just like the progression is kind of like BDO, but you have to upgrade your gear. But it's not as hardcore, because in BDO, if you upgraded your gear and you failed, it fucking vanished. So, I mean, it's been a blast of a game, in my opinion. What do you think so far?
Yeah, I'll yes and no. I enjoyed it. Well, let me take a half a step back. The story and that progression to 50 was just, for me, was just pushed through as fast as I could.
Yeah.
Because there was nothing there that grabbed me. You know, a couple of the instances and stuff like that were super fun, and I had a blast with those. But the story itself was just, I don't know. I still to this day I have no idea what the fucking story is even about, and I don't really care, to be honest with you. No. So once I got to 50, and we started doing chaos dungeons and abyssal dungeons and like you said, the guardian raids and all that kind of shit, I had a blast. I was having fun. I was in. I mean, it grabbed me and I was in. But then last night, we've gotten to, you know, I think I'm item level 560-ish, is where I'm sitting at right now. And I got on and I did my dailies, my 2 chaos dungeons, my 2 guardian raids, and we didn't have a weekly open yet. And I was like, I just couldn't be bothered to do any of I went and did an island, and it was the most worthless, shitty island. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just done. I'm bored to death with this fucking game right now. It's fun. Those fucking chaos dungeons are fun. Those guardian raids are fun. Those abyssal dungeons are fun. You know, and I'll go back through and do a couple more chaos raids just to get a few more mats, to up my item level. But with the failures and how many mats it takes now to get the next level, I can get maybe 2 upgrades, per day. And like I said, the fucking islands I just can't be bothered with. There's nothing there that's to me any fun. It's just a grind, and it's not a good grind. Like, for me anyway. I some people may enjoy. I know you enjoy some of it. To me, it's not the grind I'm looking for. So I'm gonna use it. I'm still gonna play it. I still have it installed. I still want to get on and do my dailies and, you know, do the chaos dungeons and try and get my item level up, you know, and hang with you guys when you're playing it. But yeah, it's not it. The bloom is off the rose, if you will, for me, and I realized that last night.
Yeah, I'm still enjoying it quite a bit. I think I just today I'm level 590.
Hmm.
Um, and I finally got my fucking sword to level 15. Oh my god, how many mats that took and how many times it
Yeah, yeah.
took me. Oh Jesus.
That's
But
it's heartbreaking to have a 80% chance
I
to upgrade and you fail.
well that one's it was a 40. It was a
Right.
40%
Yeah.
chance and I was
Yeah.
like, "Fuck." But I got the 40% first try. I was like, "Yeah."
Nice.
Um but yeah, I mean right now it's the one thing I loved about Diablo was is there's times where you could grind and turn off your brain, and then like when you're pushing greater rifts, you had to turn on your brain and actually like try. This game, it just feels like your brain's off the whole time unless you're doing like a guardian raid or your weekly abyssals, and I love the
Yeah,
dungeon.
but then like the abyssals, right? We have the one we have to do now. You have to
Yeah,
be so fucking coordinated. The two of us can't do it with two randoms.
yeah, I
There's no
know.
fucking way.
Yeah, that's the other problem. If Richard was a higher level, which is the other guy that we were playing with, it was a higher level, island level with us, and we had like my brother Cameron in here too. Then I mean, a 4-man, I think you could do a lot of fun stuff with that, and then you can go like world boss hunting and shit like that too. But like right now, it's just like it's hard for a solo. I feel like, or even a duo.
Duo, yeah,
Yep,
yeah.
yeah, because it's just basically it's duo in this game is basically a you're only a group when you have four. It doesn't really matter any other way, in my opinion.
Right, right. Yeah, exactly. So
Okay.
yeah, with that being said, I got off uh the the arc grind and jumped back into Tarkov a little bit yesterday. Only did a couple, 3 or 4 scav raids, mainly because I think we talked about it last podcast. I always hover around that $1 million mark, $1.2 million, $1.5 million, and then drop down. I said fuck it, and I logged in and I just dumped a boatload of money into the hideout.
Oh, you
So
did?
I did.
How much
I
money do you have right
did.
now?
I'm up back up to about 500K because of the scav runs that I did after I was done.
What did you do to your
But
hideout?
hold on, let me get
Yeah.
back in there. But basically, I want to kind of tie this in with Arc, right? Because now I was never a big MMO guy, right? I so I've been gaming PC gaming for a very long time, right? For a very long time since the mid '90s. But the WoW train kind of passed me by because at that time I started doing console gaming, right? So I started playing on consoles. So I didn't get into the WoW thing. I knew about
As a
WoW. I knew about I know, yeah, exactly. I knew about Eve Online, which even the WoW people or some of these newer generation WoW people probably don't even know what Eve Online is, or not. Was it Eve?
no, you're
No,
thinking of
EverQuest
EverQuest, yeah.
Online. Yeah, EverQuest Online. Anyway, so and I knew about all those, but the games I was playing at the time were all real time strategy games. Yada yada. Anyway, didn't play any of these things, but now that I've played a quote unquote MMO, I can see where Tarkov pulled some inspiration with the hideout stuff from MMO shit. All these time gated things, and stuff like that. I can see where that's come into play quite a bit from the MMO side of things.
And the nice thing about Tarkov, though, is in a lot of MMOs, it's a money grab with those things because then you can just pay money to skip through the time or something like
Especially
that.
these Korean MMOs, right?
Especially the Korean and yeah, and a lot of those MMOs. But like, obviously, Tarkov doesn't do that. They're not playing around with that. They got a lot of money from all the EODs and everything like that. So, um, but yeah, I mean,
So yeah,
I
I dumped a bunch of money into military hoses so I could get heating level 3.
wait, how much are military hoses going for? They were like
They
70K last time I checked, but
they
that
were
was
they were
two fucking weeks ago.
200K, 150K last
Whoa.
night. Yeah. So I
Military?
I I only needed one. Yeah, the military corrugated hose.
Oh,
Um,
military corrugated hose. Oh, sorry, I
yeah,
thought.
tube. Yeah. I only needed one. So anyway, I dumped money into that, upgraded that to level 3
That's
because that was kind of my
cables.
yeah, military cable, very much. That was kind of my issue at that point. And then I also spent fucking a bunch of money buying 2 more folders of intelligence because I only had one. So I dumped that in there too.
Really?
And did that and upgraded my intelligence center. Yeah.
Wow. Well, fuck you.
Apparently, my computer is having a shit fit right now
It looks like it.
because I was in my hideout. What the fuck? I don't know, all brand new computer, so who knows?
Oh,
At this point.
hey, perfect transition. Let's talk about that too. What'd you get specs wise?
No, I bought and again, and I'm not going to say again because I have bought a pre-built back in the past when I was playing a bunch of StarCraft. I had bought a pre-built back in the day, but I had finally stooped to the level of buying a pre-built. I've been building all of mine and yours and Cameron's and Mom's. All PCs I've built them all from parts, but I had to fucking buy a pre-built because it was the only legitimate way to get a video card in this day and age. So
Yeah.
I ended up buying a CyberPower pre-build. Summit's code saved me enough money to pay the tax on it. So that was kind of nice.
No
But
shit.
I bought it's a 12700K. So the newest generation Intel processor, 32 gigs of RAM, a GeForce 3080 video card. I didn't end up buying the Ti. I contemplated and I said, fuck it, I'll just get the regular one. So yeah,
How much
pretty
more
much
was
it.
the TI? $400 more or something?
Yeah, it was a significant amount more than the 3080 was. And I hemmed and hawed on the 3080. Well, you remember I hemmed and hawed on a bunch of it, but
And yeah, you hemmed and hawed on getting the thing in general.
yeah. But
Which
I
is
finally just said, well, I mean, okay. So the reason I did it was I had to literally had to cash in 2 weeks of vacation from my work because I keep losing it because I'm not taking vacations because I'm a flipping homebody and I don't go anywhere and I stay home anyway. So
yeah.
I had almost about $3,000 that I just magically appeared in my account, and I'm like, fuck it, I'll just put it onto a computer. So that's what I did.
Yeah. No, it's totally fair. If I could do the same thing, I would have, but that's not possible. So
Hey, there might be an end in sight. I may have, just like everything else, my timing wise, I may have jumped the gun about a month too early, and
but
yeah.
we've been saying that for fucking years now. You
True.
can't really tell. Like, oh, it looks like video cards are gonna go down, and well,
Yeah.
it hasn't been.
Something happens and it doesn't go. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. For some reason, yeah, whatever. All
But
right.
on another note, I'm trying to learn Windows 11 because it did come with Windows 11.
Oh,
And
how is that?
it's not too bad so far. But it's a little weird getting used to the everything being in the middle like a goddamn Mac, and all that kind of stuff. But other than that, it's still Windows. It's still the same.
Wait, what do you mean everything in the middle?
So there's no, like in your taskbar, you have,
Yeah.
your Windows key on the far left that opens up your taskbar that pops up on the left. Yeah, it all does it in the middle now, in the middle and the bottom. So it's kind of weird. Yeah.
That is weird.
Trying to get used to it all.
Oh.
Started using Edge.
No,
Got sick.
God.
No, I got sick of it. It's already
Okay.
off. I changed
Okay, good.
everything over to Google Chrome.
Okay, good.
We're recording right now. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, that's my wife decided to interrupt.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So yeah, that's where we're at with all that.
Sweet. All right, let's get into some Tarkov topics. First
Okay.
off, I want to talk about why Interchange sucks. Because it does. That map is
disagree.
doo-doo. That map
I
is
disagree
doo-doo.
wholeheartedly.
It's so
I
doo-doo.
always go to Interchange.
Okay, but you literally don't barely go inside half of the time. Sorry, you might hear my kid, but
True. I do go inside. I just stay in the basement.
Yeah, what? See, you're missing 90% of the map. You're missing
I
the
go
doo-doo part
I
of the
go
map.
to interchange to make money. Period.
Oh, dude. Okay.
That's
There
it.
is so-
That's the only. It's the reason I go to interchange is to make money.
I know.
Because I know all these loot runs on interchange, and I can easily avoid confrontation or whatever if I don't want it, and I just go there to make money.
Okay. I understand that. But the people that want to go inside and fight inside, they need to change multiple things, in my opinion. First off, make Killa either way higher spawn rate
Killa should be 100% spawn rate at this point.
or close to it, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And maybe I don't know. You gotta light up the corners a little bit, because that fucker can sit in a corner and just sit there, and you're not gonna see him until you get shot in the back of the head and you're already dead. And
There's been multiple times when I'm down in the basement and he's down there in the tents that are kind of basically underneath the escalators at IDEA.
Mm-hmm.
So there's two tents there that are kind of behind the escalators at IDEA down in the parking garage. And he's been in those tents a couple of times on me. And yeah, I had no fucking idea until I turned the corner to walk in the tent and he's there just mowing me down.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. That's why the map is terrible. And right now, since they did change Killa, you can't just fucking rush it. Nobody rushes into the middle, and you don't get fights right away. So that means that everybody camps.
And
you know,
I don't know. I still see, like, because I do a lot of scav runs. That's my way. I call it scav change, right? That's where because I use my scavs to make money. So I go there a lot on my scavs, and I see the majority of the fights look like they happen in Ollie, for some reason. The Ollie cash register area seems like that's where all the fights are going down, and I'm assuming it's because of the tech stores that are right there on the other side of the wall. But that's where all the dead bodies are generally found, where they used to be found in front of Kiba, right? Because everybody be running to go fight Killa, and you'd find either who Killa killed or people killing each other. So you could find a bunch of dead bodies there, and I just don't see them there anymore.
Which is fine. I mean, that's good for the map, because then it opens up more points. But
yeah.
But it still just it makes the map feel worse, in my opinion.
The lighting is an issue. I don't disagree with you there. I also don't disagree with you that Killa's spawn rate needs to come way up, since he can be literally anywhere on the fucking map, right?
Yeah.
I mean, almost anywhere. So, if they're gonna have him wander that entire map, because I mean, Interchange isn't the biggest map, right? But because of all of the stores and all the storefronts and the three levels and everything that is included with that map, it's actually, there's a lot of square footage there to try and search him out and find him.
And there's more nooks and crannies in that map than any other map in the game, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So it's just, and it feels like he could be in any one of them, even though he can't. But like, he has what, 5 spawns now, I think.
I actually don't know.
I think it's 4 or 5, because
I'll be honest with you. The only time I've ever seen him has been down in those two tents, and I've seen him there like 5 times.
I haven't even.
I've never seen him anywhere else. But then
I haven't even seen him once this wipe.
Places. Really?
Yeah, I haven't seen him once this wipe. I haven't got a chance to shoot that dickhead. I want to, but I got to play the game first to do it. So. But yeah, dude, I just, the interchange right now, it does not feel it. In the past, it's felt like a great map, a fun map to go to, and right now it just feels like a bottom tier map. It feels like it's probably the worst in the game.
Besides labs.
Well, that's a different story. That's a different story. But yeah, like, what I mean. Let's look at the maps right now, because I mean, what other map would I hate going to more? Maybe Reserve, but that's just, I have a vendetta against that map.
I know you have never given that map a fair shot.
I don't think I have. I think when they added the bunker, it kind of ruined it for me.
Right.
It made that map up top. It was kind of a wasteland, and in the bunkers where all the people go to fight. It made that map basically a Factory 2.0 because it's just all close quarters bullshit.
No, but you love Factory.
I know, because Factory, well, because if I go Factory, I know I'm supposed to be doing close quarters. When I go to Reserve, the first 3-4 minutes are people shooting each other up above before they can get into the bunker. So you bring a close range weapon into Reserve, and then you die because there's a guy outside up on the dome because he didn't get a
Right.
good spawn or whatever. I mean, it's a good spawn for it, but still,
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, every other map I love. I love Woods so goddamn much.
Oh, Woods is the shit. Yeah, I love that
Yeah,
map.
Woods is my money run whenever I'm
True.
doing it.
No, we were doing good money runs on Woods too there for a
Yeah,
while. Yeah.
Woods customs is great. Lighthouse is actually fun. We played it more and
Mm-hmm.
been actually having a blast with that map.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
it's
that's what I
way.
played last night too. I
Oh,
played
did
a
you?
little bit of Lighthouse. Yeah.
I think it's way too linear.
Mainly I played Lighthouse. I played Lighthouse offline and was just fucking around with rogues because I was playing with settings on the new computer. So that's what I was using to check my settings and things.
Did you die to any of them?
I did. And a corner I cleared, and then I continued to creep along, and they apparently were patrolling, and they came around that corner and shot me in the back, bastards.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think the one problem I have with Lighthouse is that it feels very linear.
Oh yeah,
It
it's one great big line.
it just feels like one great big line, and you, I don't know. I have a problem with that, but because if you get a good spawn, you can just go get rogues and just kill them right away, and then get the fuck out. But I don't know. That map. I haven't played enough to have a full opinion on, but it feels like there's the chalets and then rogue camp and then the rest. I mean, obviously you can get really good loot from it because it has like the best loot in the game right now. But even though
Yeah,
they
but
nerfed it,
I think they nerfed. Yeah, I think they nerfed it.
yeah, I still think it's technically the best. I think you can go in there without
Really?
any keys and get like crazy good loot.
Okay.
Yeah,
I don't
but
know. What keys are there really for that map?
there's two good keys: the Merlin car,
Yeah, the Marin
and
key.
then yeah, the Marin. Sorry, not Merlin. Fuck, been watching too much D&D. and then and then the hillside key. And that goes to the chalet.
Okay.
Yeah, apparently that's some pretty good lootsies there. Let me pull up keeps real quick. I want to talk about arena mode.
Okay.
And how do you think they're gonna implement it, and what do you want in it? What are you thinking?
So I had a thing. I I had a thing probably 3 years ago or 2 years ago when I first heard about arena mode that I think that would be awesome for them to be able to do, and that's be able to take in your loadout, that you've acquired. So you have to use a loadout that you've acquired from the main game, right? Now you're not going to lose it when you go into arena mode.
Yeah,
At least in my vision, right? This is Highmark vision of arena mode. Who knows what they're actually going to do, but this is my vision. So you have to bring in something from your loadout, right? And back in the day when I was talking about this, it wasn't as big of a deal as it is now. But back in the day, I was talking about how if you had more gear or you went in with higher class armor, your movement would be slower and all that. Now that's part of the game now, so it's all good to go. But
Yeah.
that was a way I was trying to justify balancing arena, right? With bringing in whatever loadouts you want to. But then, so anyway, go in, and depending on how you feel about it, I think you should be able to dump a 100,000 rubles on the match for yourself, and if
Yeah.
you win, you get it's a way to bet on the whole thing. So it's a money sink It's a way to have a money sink for the game, and you get that that arena mode style combat, which is, in my opinion, would be something like what you get at labs or what you get at the resort, inside the resort building and
Yeah.
things like that.
Yeah, would do you think are they doing a respawn system, or have they even talked about it? Do you know?
They have not. They have said very little. The only thing they've said is that arena mode will be a separate game, quote unquote, if I remember right, and that you get it if you have EOD.
Okay, you only get it if you have EOD.
Or you have to pay extra for it, yeah. And it's not coming out until after full release.
Really? I thought he said they were working on it right now.
They're working on it right now. They've got a couple guys working on it, but I don't think it's coming out until after full release.
See, that's a
But
bummer.
I might be wrong on that. I don't know.
Yeah. I was thinking, would it be cool? So in like Warzone, I don't know. Have you played any Warzone?
I have not played Warzone.
But you've watched a little bit of it, right?
Yeah. I mean, I know what it's all about, and I've played.
Yeah.
What was the Black Ops version of it?
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, the whatever Blackout.
Yeah.
So in Warzone, they have the gulag system. So when you die,
Yeah, they had that in Blackout too, didn't they?
No, they didn't. But that would have been cool in Blackout. But the gulag system, I think they should do that. And in the gulag system, you can while you're pinged to you're in the queue to go in, you can watch it from above, right?
From above, yeah, that'd be cool.
I think that would be really cool, and I think it would be really cool to place bets on other people too. So another form of money, you can place bets on yourself. But if you wanted to go and watch some arena fights or whatever, you go place bets on other people too.
Okay.
And maybe even have a further money sink, because there's a lot of the games gets very inflated and very fat at the end of the wipe.
Yeah.
So having a big money sink like that and it would be a good thing, I think, right?
Oh yeah, they need something to sink rules into for the people, the other people out there. I'm gonna say the other people, not myself.
Yeah.
I got other shit I need to sink money into, like gear and fucking upgrades, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Like the Smitty Stones, the billionaires.
Yeah, those guys, billionaires, yeah.
Yeah, which is ridiculous. Did you hear about that? He was the first one to hit $1 billion.
Hit $1 billion rubles.
Fucking crazy. But yeah, I think money sinks are an important thing, and they really haven't utilized any of those in this game yet. So
no, there's no real. I mean, besides the hideout and buying your way into the hideout, there's no real money sink in this game.
Yeah, I think the hideout's like the only one, and it makes you more money than you think in it half of the time. So
true. Yeah, if you're efficient with it, with your crafting and everything, then you can you can use it to make money instead of sink money.
Yeah. The other thing I want to talk about, beginning of this patch, excuse me, was the scav problem. How they were just busted. There was time how they were just. Veritas talks about it a little bit, but they're doing shit that they've never done before, like fucking going prone and then crouching back up and weird.
That
shit
actually
like
got patched in this patch that just came out.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. At least they're fixing some of their AI, but didn't they just feel like Terminators in the beginning of this patch?
Yeah, they're pretty rough.
Yeah,
they were pretty rough. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, they were pretty rough. Even Makarov boys were pretty rough.
Yeah, I mean, I remember dying to a Taz, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? That's never happened to me in Tarkov before. Like crazy shit like that. I mean, and I don't know if it's because they added the rogues and maybe it fucked up the rest of their AI or whatever happened, but I
think they need to do a whole thing with AI and that whole podcast with Veritas and Nikita talked about how he's struggling with whether he spends the time to fix it or just shit can it and start over. and I think they're at a crossroads right now where they have to decide one or the other, right? What are they going to do with it? Because I think the two main things that people complained about, because Nikita went to the subreddit. I don't spend a whole lot of time on the subreddit, but he did go in there and ask, hey, now that this patch is out, we got all this shit, what are your guys' biggest complaints? And the number one complaint was audio.
Yes,
by a long shot.
Yeah, I think it was like
audio,
fucking 60% or something.
Yeah,
more.
And then the other one was Scav AI.
Yeah.
So I think those are the two things they really need to concentrate on, because they don't need to as much concentrate on just putting out more content, right? Obviously, Streets is in a pretty decent spot for them because they've been teasing the shit out of that for a while now. So I'm sure that that's in a pretty decent spot, just trying to get performance shit. And from the rumors and everything I'm hearing, the first iteration of Streets is finished. They're trying to finish up some performance issues, and then figure out where to spawn everything. Have
really?
all the loot drops and all that kind of stuff, where that should be for everything. That's the rumor I heard last. So I think they've already got that whole bombshell that's, I'm sure, is going to drop at the next wipe, right? The whole Streets thing. So
yeah,
that the content isn't as big of a deal right now because of how much we got dumped with content this last patch. It's things like that, fucking getting that Steam audio fully implemented, and figuring out the AI scavs to make them function more like human beings and filthy little, cellar dwellers that are coming out and just trying to get morsels, right? Instead of Terminators.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and it makes sense. I think that now they have this level, the scav level system. The one thing they need to do with that, and I know Nikita already talked about it, but I just wanted to talk about it again. They need to make it obvious what scav is what level scav is what, because right now you could go up to any scav and they could be any level. And I know Nikito's saying like the higher level scavs are gonna have nicer clothes and cleaner clothes and stuff like that, but I feel like that's not even enough then too. So I don't know what else you could even do with like make them look different. I think
the easiest thing would be to all the lower level scavs, right? If they're either go no backpack or have like tea bags and army bags and duffels and things like that. And all your higher level scavs have actual backpacks, like day packs or stuff like that, right? Some of the higher, because that's the easiest thing to see, right? When you're zoomed in and you're looking at a scav, seeing what's on his back, what I mean? It's a lot harder to see what gun he has, right? You can't see headgear all that well depending on distance and what scope you have and all that kind of stuff, but that bulge that's on his back is easy to silhouette, and you can identify that significantly easier than a lot of other shit.
I agree. I think that's probably the best way to do it. Yeah, you see a scav with a pilgrim, he's gonna be a little more dangerous than the dude with a tea bag, right? Like,
sure, yeah. Although the pilgrim's kind of a funny one, because the pilgrim's a civ backpack, right? It's a civilian backpack, but I don't know. I mean, that one could go either. You could place. I understand you could place that one in the oh shit category of scav, right?
True, but I mean, it's kind of I guess. But yeah, if you see a scav with like a burr cut, and then versus a guy with a tea bag, then you're like, okay, I need to be a little more careful around this guy. I need to plan this out a little bit better than just to run up and shoot him in the head, because I might get face tapped,
Right, yeah.
Another thing that would be kind of cool with the lower level scouts is, why don't they run away? Like, I mean, they do, but when they first see you, why don't they run away?
See, I think that's all in the Scav AI programming that they got to figure out. I think that needs to be one of their because one of their random things that they can choose from, right?
Yeah.
They should when they spot you or hear you, they should turn and address you and shoot, or they should run away, or they, you know what I mean? There should be about, or they, if they just hear you, they should kind of creep and look,
Yeah.
that's all AI programming, and that's something that all has to get done in that. So I think that's the big issue right now is what they're going to do with the AI programming.
Yeah, figuring out what the processes are and the way that they go through them. I think.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it's a good point. Like I think I got one more in here, and then if you have any points, well, so right now,
I thought the big one we were going to talk about was the open world thing.
oh,
we kind of teased
fuck.
that. We kind of teased that last week a little bit. And there's been a rumor. There was a nice guy video about this that just came out.
What was he saying?
Talking about it, about how he thinks it's going that open world direction.
Oh. All right, let's hear your opinion on it. Because I think we have opposite opinions.
Well, yes, we do, but I think they're closer than you think.
Okay.
I want the open world aspect of this game. Specifically, I want raids to be open way up, right? I don't think the raid should be everybody spawns in at the same time and everybody has to leave at the same time, right? Or everybody gets forced out at the same time.
Yes.
Although that part, I understand what the deal is, and maybe there's something in there. I do want a more the Cycle Frontier style system for Tarkov.
I agree.
I want that, so there isn't a meta, right? Like right now there's a fucking meta. When I spawn in at Lighthouse Extract on Shoreline, I know I'm probably going to be the second set of guys to the resort, right?
Yeah,
because the guys that are going to get there first are the guys in that spawned on the southeast passage, right? In that corner over there, kind of the back and the east wing. Those are the first guys that are going to get to the resort. The guys that spawn at Lighthouse are going to be the second guys that get to the resort, right? The guys that spawn down more like at Tunnel, they're shit out of luck. Guys that spawn over at Road to Customs, they're shit out of luck. They're going to be one of the last ones there, So or the guys that spawn down at Construction, along the coast road. Those guys are shit out of luck. They're going to be one of the last ones there, right? So there's that meta that okay, I spawned here. If we just hightail it to the resort, we're gonna possibly get in a fight, and then there'll be some guys coming up behind us, because we got the second spawn to resort.
Yeah.
If you got rid of or made it an open world style, or went to the Cycle Frontier style spawning system, you would have no idea. You don't know where anybody is. True. You know what I mean? You'd spawn in, and even if you left all the spawn and extract zones the same, you spawn in at that Lighthouse Extract spawn, right?
Yeah.
You could have a fucking chunky boy that had just spent the last 45 minutes in the resort clearing shit out, coming towards you, right?
Yeah.
Trying to hit that, even though you just spawned in, trying to hit that Lighthouse Extract. You have no idea. So you have to keep your head on a swivel at that point, right? Mm-hmm. You have to be looking behind you, in front of you, all over the place. Because right now, when I spawn Lighthouse, I just beeline it for the resort, and I just have to watch out my right peripheral for anybody that got that good spawn at the town and just ran up behind cottages there. Yeah. Right. So we may meet at the fucking at the broken wall into resort, right?
Yeah.
So that's the only thing you have to worry about is that one over there. So you just kind of keep your ad out over there. You don't have to worry about behind you. You don't have to worry about in front of you. Nobody's going to spawn at the resort and run towards you. So all you have to worry about is this one kind of off in the distance, right?
Yeah, it's kind of like CS map knowledge. It's not even like game sense at that point. It is game sense, but it's more map knowledge than anything else. And if it was like that, Cycle Frontier, people can spawn in at any time. You literally would always have to keep your head on a swivel. Because I know if there's 10 minutes left in the raid, I could damn near run all the way there and not even worry about a soul. Because everybody's either already dead or out, you know?
Right. Yeah, exactly.
So I think it would make the game more interesting. I think you could get a lot more loot and you could lose a lot more loot that way too.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
the thing that's made this game so good to me is those intense moments. The gunfighting in Tarkov is better than any other game. That's kind of an open world or battle royale or whatever style game, right? I'm not going to say it's better than CS:GO because that's a different game, okay?
Yeah.
But the gunfighting in this game is the best, in my opinion. I like it more than even CS:GO, but it's a different animal, so I don't want to make that comparison.
Yeah.
However, I lost track of where I was going with this. Anyway, that's the part I love, and I want to continue that, right? All of that kind of stuff. Yeah. But right now, it's just a meta of who gets to the loot first, and it shouldn't be that. It should be about this. Oh, I know where I was going. The intensity, right? The gunfighting is intense, but once you're out of the gunfights, the running to extract or moving around are not that intense anymore. They used to be. They used to give you that pit in your stomach when you got something really good. Now, to me, that's not that intense anymore because you know where people should be coming from.
Yeah.
That's the one major thing that Rust gets right, in my opinion. Because you have no flippin' idea where if you went and did military tunnels or whatever, and you got some seriously good gear, you have no idea where people are going to be coming from until you walk through your front door of your base, right? It is a pit in your stomach. Holy fuck! I just got to get back so I can offload this gear, right? And that's not how Tarkov is anymore. I still get that anxious feeling in gunfights, right? And that action, that's awesome, and I love it, and I want to keep that. But I don't get that anxiousness after I've gotten the gear. And like you said, there's 20 minutes left in the raid, or 10 minutes left in the raid. Everybody's gone. And you don't get that anymore. No worry, none.
It may be a player scav, and you're like, well, the player scav is just gonna fart on me with his fucking broken ass, aka VPO, whatever the fuck it is, you know. It's not gonna do anything to me, especially if I have tier 5, tier 4 armor.
Right. See, that player scav experience should be the every experience when you drop into a fucking raid.
I agree.
Because you have no clue what has happened in that map when you drop into that raid.
Yeah.
You literally could get a guy running at you, you know, from resort full of gear. You know what I mean?
Yeah. All you need right now is an entrance plan. The exit plan is whatever, because you don't have to worry about a fucking exit plan because everybody's already dead, or you're already dead, so your exit plan was death. So I mean,
true.
it's either there's no real like, okay, I need to leave here, go slow, because there could be anybody from anywhere. Because obviously right now it's just everybody runs out that one point of contention and then leaves right after they get anything they want, and there's no repercussions for that.
Right. And there's still going to be that. There's still going to be that with that Cycle Frontier style spawn system, right? You're still going to have the guys that go in, and I'm one of them. I'm going to be one of them, right? I'm going to go in. I'm going to go do my task, get that completed, and I'm going to get the fuck out.
Yeah.
Right. That's fine. But then when I get the fuck out, a new guy gets to come in.
Yes.
And he gets to go and he does his thing. And then this whole group of 4 went in and they died, so another whole group of 4 can come in. You know what I mean? And so it keeps the randomness of Tarkov that way, because it's not right now. It's not.
No, it's
you
not.
know exactly where everybody spawns on the map at the beginning. I mean, how many times, because we've been using Shoreline as our example, how many times have we spawned at construction and ran to the death field, right?
Yeah.
And looking for the guys that spawned over there behind tower to cross the death field.
Oh,
right?
I look at it every time.
Or up on the rocks that had already crossed, and we're the schmoes running across death field, right? So I mean, that's that every single fucking time.
Yeah.
You look there. So most of the time you find a fight, right? If you're looking for it, most of the time you'll find a fight. Sometimes somebody decided to go the long way around to the backside of the resort, and so you don't see anybody. But or the long way around, and they end up looping behind your spawn because they're going down to the gas station to, whatever the case is. So sometimes that doesn't happen, but most of the time this guy's making a beeline there, we're making a beeline there, these guys over there are making a beeline there, and it's just these fucking lines that where they intersect, and you can catch fights there.
Yeah, it's. I think having the raid system the way it is right now, and not the raid system the way it is, having oh my god, I forgot, Cycle Frontiers raid system, the spawning in, having 4-hour raids, or maybe I think they were 6-hour, I can't remember exactly, but and being able to spawn in at any point would be perfect for the single maps that Tarkov have.
This is where I'm going to disagree with you. The maps need to be bigger.
I could see
if you did Shoreline and Lighthouse as one whole map, then and possibly Reserve tied into that, then I would agree with you.
Nope.
Why?
Because that's what I love about Tarkov. I didn't get into this game because I love DayZ. I don't want to run around for fucking hours and hours.
Okay.
I got into this game because you could get into a map, let alone it does take 13 minutes to load into a fucking map, but you can get into a map and you find action not right away but very soon, within the first 5 minutes. I think having all the maps put together like that, first off, is going to be harder on servers because you're going to need more people. So, and they're already having a problem with servers. And then it's going to be harder to find fights. And I just don't want that. I really don't want them to put all the maps together. I really don't want them to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that they've talked about, they're thinking about doing that and still having the raid system that it is, the way it is right now. I heard, I can't remember who said it, but I heard somebody talk about that they've talked about that. But having all the maps put together, I just couldn't see how that could be fun.
Right.
I don't know.
Well, so you've heard that, like, the rumor is that the Streets map is going to be the size of almost all of the maps put together currently.
I will believe it when I see it. Because I don't know if that's true.
My guess, so if that's the case, right? If that's the how it's going to play out. Yeah. What if it was something like this, okay? What if Streets was completely open world, right? The whole Streets map was completely open world, and you had to get to a point in Streets to start a raid to go to Lighthouse. And then you extract Lighthouse to Streets and get back to your safe zone.
That could be so toxic. There would be 100%, because there could be people camping those locations where they want to go. Let's say, because I know streets, I know that they talked about this, and I think they're making this for sure. Streets, you have to go through streets to get to labs, right? Like that.
That's the another rumor that I've heard. Yes.
Yeah. If that happens, there will be people camping that entrance 24/7.
Right, but I've heard also that there's supposed to be multiple entrances to labs. One of them being at the factory.
It's still going to be a camp fest because people are going to bring good gear into labs things. So people like Extract Camper are going to literally sit at those entrances to get crazy gear. That's just the way it's going to be. I mean, maybe I'm way overthinking it, but I don't see how that could be healthy for the game.
Yeah, I guess. So okay, what if so something like that, right? The extract for labs. What if there is you have to have a labs card, or something, and you get an announcement saying where that entrance is for the next 20 minutes. So if you have a labs card, you can go in, you know what I mean? So it's kind of more dynamic and it moves around the map.
Then people with labs cards are they're gonna put them in their fucking butthole, and then they're gonna figure out where they're at, and they go camping again. I mean, it's like,
I mean, but there's always that, right? There's always there's always a way to shoot down an idea.
True.
I mean, how many people shit on the VoIP thing, right? Well, people are just gonna run around and scream profanities and N-bombs all day long, and there's been significantly less than that's happened.
Yeah, it's only happened to me once.
Right.
Yeah. So I mean, I saw a little bit of that. Yeah, but still, it's just like it leaves a sour taste in my mouth.
So I want to. This kind of being on a side here, have you ever watched or thought about playing another game called Deadside? Have you seen it?
No.
Okay. It's another Russian developer, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
And they've taken the more of the open world slant than Tarkov, right? So it's more DayZ than Tarkov. To the point where you can actually like Rust, you can, and technically I think it's like it would be like Rust in the Tarkov universe.
So there's like base building and stuff.
There's base building in it. There's all this kind of stuff, but there's also, like in Rust, there's a safe zone around a couple of cities, right?
Okay.
In it, that when you get to that safe zone, you cannot be killed or kill anybody, and that's where all of your traders are at, like Tarkov traders. Right. Okay. They literally have to have physical, actual traders in game that you go to and you buy and sell shit from.
Okay.
At these towns, and then they have instead of raids, or things like that, they have they've got a traveling group of basically bear, right, that travel along the roads as a convoy that you can assault and take their gear, and stuff from. They also have like hot points like of the map, like a dock area, that has some buildings and stuff in it that you can go into, and if nobody's done it in a while, it'll start a whole NPC thing, right? Yeah. That then other PMCs or other players can come in and fight you for, because they can hear it going off and shit like that. So It's a super interesting game, and they just got a bunch of new money. But anyway, so that's kind of what I'm looking for, in Tarkov, is something similar to that. Maybe not quite like the base building and all that I don't want to deal with in Tarkov. you have your hideout, right? That's fine. That works. It's already built. It's a done deal. You just have to upgrade it. I don't want to have to go out and build a base and do all that horse shit. And
I agree.
And to be honest with you, I also, even though I like it in Rust in some games, I don't want to have to defend it either. It's not what I'm here for in Tarkov. I'm here for the fucking gunfights, right?
Yeah.
I'm here for that going out and looting and finding this cool thing and then having to defend yourself, to extract if that happens.
Yeah.
That's what I'm here for. So so that kind of shit I don't want. But I want something more like that where you can travel to a safe area to go buy and sell shit that you found in raid and you head right back out and start fucking doing it again. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I see. That's my problem. I love the way it is right now, where you I don't know. You get all your shit, and it's nice and not quick, but it's nice and it's in a good package. I feel like, because
Right.
you
there's
can buy
there's that nice convenient loop.
Yes.
That you have right now.
Honestly, it's a great gameplay. The loop of gameplay is good. It feels good. It's always felt good. I mean, I think that's why they've been so popular, because not many games have this same or very similar gameplay loop.
Yeah.
You come back, you can instantly go into your stash. You can look at what you have. You can gauge what you can run. I mean, it's a really nice system. And I feel like if you do that open world, you're going to kind of rip apart part of this really nice system that they've created, in my opinion.
Right.
And it's I mean, I'm sure I want them to prove me wrong, because I've always been kind of not very, God, what's the word when you're not good at change? Let's just say that.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, change is hard for me, and
Sure.
and especially with a game like this, because it's been the same thing, and it's easy to love it. But I mean,
Yeah.
if they want to change it up the way they want to change it up, I mean,
well, that's the problem. We have no idea. They've hinted at certain things here and there, but we have no idea what they're planning on. I think the big thing for me would be then leave it the way it is and move to a Cycle Frontier style deployment and extract system. Right?
I think that's the best of both worlds.
I think that's the best. I think you're right. I think that's the best of both worlds. I would like to see slightly larger maps, because if you're going to move to that style, being able to loot the resort and then, okay, I got what I need out of here. Let's move down to the water treatment plant and see if we can get the shit out of that, area too, before we extract, right? Because sometimes you're just not going to catch the loot, right? Some guy has beaten you to it, and there hasn't been the respawn time to get the loot back in the resort. So then what do we do, right? If you leave the maps the way they are, the fuck do you do?
Yeah, well, that's a problem with the maps. I think that's a big problem with the maps right now in general. Is that a lot of the loot is too centralized in one area, and it's kind of been like that. I mean, obviously, you want the resort to have the best loot, but where the fuck else do you go on Shoreline to get loot? I mean, you can get scraps everywhere else, but you go to Shoreline, you get lead X's, and you get high end loot.
High end loot, yeah. It has
and then everywhere else kind of has like scraps, unless you find a roller in a duffel bag or something like that. I mean, it's not like you're getting Bitcoin and lead X's. So I mean, I think that's been a big problem with a lot of maps, is that they have great places to go, but everywhere else kind of seems very lackluster and not up to par for what that main attraction has in that map. I think actually one thing on Reserve is really good about having a lot of places to loot, and even the high end loot areas. You can go to a couple areas where not a lot of people go, and you can still get pretty good shit. I mean, it's places like Reserve and even Interchange, really, because Interchange has the three tech stores.
Four technically, because there's that tiny one right across from Mantis.
Yeah, and then Kiba, but you have to have a key for that. And then where else do you loot on that map?
The last few times that we've been into Kiba, it's been kind of
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, it has. But I mean, but other than that, where do you go? Where do you go loot on that map? I mean, it's that or do ground stashes. I mean,
that's what I do, right? I do ground stashes,
yeah.
and then I go underground and I loot all the ammo or the military crates underground.
I mean,
if the ground stashes don't give me anything worth a shit.
Since they nerfed the pharmacy place, apparently that people barely get lead X's in that pharmacy place. But that's right next to one of the main loot areas anyway. It's right next to Tech Light, so it's like, I mean,
so we've just looped all the way back around to your hate on Interchange.
True. I mean, it's so going back there because I just got to talk about this real quick. Ollie, the best store in Interchange, unless you want to talk about Goshen and getting food in Goshen.
Right.
What's on that side? Oh, the two tech stores. The key for, the pharmacy key. So you're telling me that 90% of the good...
Technically the three tech stores, because Rasmussen, or
oh, and
Rasmussen,
Rasmussen,
as we like to call it, is all right there. Yeah, Rasputin.
So it's like,
Yeah, so all the good loot, your hoses and your electrical motors and your water filters and all that kind of stuff is all there in Ollie, and the three tech stores and the pharmacy is all right there. That's why I'm seeing all the dead bodies in that area when I scav in. Yeah.
Yeah. And then you go to Idea and there's like, oh, you can go into the office and maybe get a graphics card. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? First off, I've only found one graphics card in that office ever. And then you could maybe get like a lion on the tables in the random. It's like there's nothing on that side of the map.
No, it's brutal. I've been through it so many times. Like I said, because I scav there all the time, and a lot of times I end up spawning in Idea and just looking through the shelves of nothing, or a goddamn tape measure or a wrench.
Yeah.
It's like, Jesus.
And they've nerfed Emercom, the medical, Emercom medical or whatever it is. And it's like, that's the only thing that was decent on that side, but they nerfed the shit out of it, so now you can't get anything out of there. It's like, what?
Yeah, that whole half of the place is just garbage. It's just garbage tier. There's nothing there.
No. I don't know what they were thinking, man.
Yeah. And then okay, so I mean we're back on the Interchange hate train, but
that's fine. Fuck Interchange.
The second floor too. What's the fucking point of the second floor?
So you can shoot guys on the first floor. That's literally it, man. it's like, oh, if you want a burger, you can go up to the burger too.
Because that one corner is it, right? Tech Light and pharmacy.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, from what I can remember, there's really nothing else up there.
No, there's another medical one on the other side, but because I used to, when Interchange first came out, I used to run second floor loot runs all the time because nobody went up there. Mm-hmm. And I would hit that medical room over there on that side, and I don't think I've ever gotten anything worth a shit out of that, besides an IFAC or a fucking Salewa.
I mean, that side of the mall, it's like a quarter of the mall is worth a shit. The rest isn't.
It's tough, that main lobby, the main level being all there on the Ollie side of decent loot, so is a little rough.
I'll admit there's a few things in Goshen. You go get the food, and then you can go in the lockers and check the lockers for Bitcoin,
gold chains and things,
Bitcoins and gold chains and shit like that. And then there is in every store there's computers to loot, but I mean that's every store.
But the spawn rate of anything decent in computers is pretty shit.
Yeah. Saw a video the other day. Somebody got 3 graphics cards out of one computer. Yeah, pretty wild. But it's like, yeah, it feels like every map. Now that I think about it, like
That's not a good graphics card then, because they're running 3-way SLI, and that hasn't been a thing for a long time.
Fuck. But you think about it, like Woods has a better distribution of loot, in my opinion, because it has the back. I call it the backstrap of the sunken city, the other city, old log camp or whatever, old sawmill, scav bunker, USEC. Both the USEC camps is kind of like that backstrap of woods. And that's just good loot all around there. And if you want to go try to find Sertman, you go into the middle to the new sawmill, and then you're making loot. I mean, you're making money. You might not get as many fights because it's so open, but
there is that big dead area between those two, because that's what you got. Is like you said, you've got a big back strap across the back, and you've got the front strap, if you will, across across the front around the lake, right?
Yeah.
Everything in the big gap in the middle is just dead. There's nothing there.
There's nothing there. You don't get in fights in there rarely.
The only fight that you get in on that kind of middle section is if you're up on the mountain trying to shoot guys at Sniper Rock that took over Sniper Rock.
Or if care package drops in there.
Or if a care package drops in there. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like it's hard to justify other maps when it's hard to justify that type of spawn system when there really is only one place to loot in most maps. For
the high tier loot, I agree. Yeah, I agree. I can and have ratted my way around maps and made money. I never make big money, right? That's like the scav raids I did last night, right? I would make 200K a scav raid, because I'm just not going hard on trying to find the heavy hitter spots, just run around to the spots that not a lot of people go to and pick up gems that happen to be there and sell them off. And you can do that with any map, any of the maps you can do that with. But yeah, the problem is right now, and I think it's because of the spawn system and everything, they need to have a central area where everybody beelines to, because then you have your fights. And I think if you got rid of that whole system and then spread the concentration of the loot around all over the map, you'd be in a lot better position.
Yeah,
and allowed people to come in and re-come in and re-come in. That way they're not all concentrated at the resort, and you can never respawn loot at the resort.
Yeah.
When we're talking about like a 6-hour map, right? You can never respawn. We can never respawn loot at the resort because there's always somebody there, right? So, because you need, I think the way it should work is there needs to be a certain distance people away for a certain amount of time before a respawn will happen.
You have to have both of those factors, the distance and the time. You can't just have distance. Like what I noticed when we tried the Cycle Frontier was it was just distance. You could just run away.
Yeah, so you just run away and then come back.
Yeah.
So
I was doing that with stashes.
It needs to be a lot more than that. It needs to be, like you said, distance and time, right?
Yeah.
And completely random where shit gets put to, in my opinion. I think that's the other big thing about Tarkov, in my opinion, with the looting, and why I wanted it to be more open world, more like DayZ, is I want shit to be randomly sat on a pile of fucking stuff that you can see and go, oh fuck, instead of always in containers, right? I want to see more of that loose loot that's like on the fucking shelves at Ollie, and on the on the shelves or in certain places on desks in the resort. I want to see that kind of loot spawn randomly more often. You know what I mean? All over the place. So that's what I want to see more of. The open world style is like that.
Yeah, I think that would make it almost more fun to find. Like if you're running past and you're like, wait 1 second, did I just see something? And you go back and you fucking look at it and you're like, dude, I just found a roller or something like that, I didn't even know this was a spawn. This is cool shit. So
Right.
it kind of adds more excitement, I think, to finding shit almost. 'Cause,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I didn't even know that was a spawn. You know, because
Right.
other than like, oh, I just found a duffel bag. Cool. You know.
Yeah.
So it's kind of just whatever. But so I think we're getting pretty close to the end here, aren't we?
Yeah. We're an hour in already, so.
Oh, cool. Do we want to talk about a few other things? Like
A couple
like
things we
what
watched and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Yeah, kind
Yeah.
of our cool down here.
Yeah.
Moving out of our raid and into our cooldown.
Yeah.
Playing Tetris in our stash and all that kind of shit. Yeah. So the big one I watched was that nice guy video talking about open world and kind of where shit's moving to. So definitely check that out. The nice thing about his videos, especially his Tarkov stuff, is they're super short. So attention span people, he gets to the point, he bangs through all the information real quick, so that helps.
I'm not one of I can watch a video for 30. I don't need to put it on 1.5 speed like some psychopaths do.
That's me.
Yeah. I could watch a full video with it and be on normal fucking speed. Okay. God.
So
I've
anyway,
never understood that. But
the 2 times videos.
Yeah.
Because I need to get to the point. Get me to the point so I can figure out if this video's worth a shit or not.
I just skip around if I don't know. I'm just like, this looks more interesting. But yeah.
Anyway, so he was a good one. The other thing I'm going to tell you that I've been watching, because of Lost Ark, which we talked about at the beginning, I've been watching and I've never watched before is Asmongold. I've only ever watched a couple of his videos on his talking head videos on certain controversial subjects and shit like that. And I love him. I love him for that, right? Because he just speaks his mind and doesn't give a fuck. And I love that for him. So that's the only thing I've ever consumed of his before. Now I've actually watched a couple of his streams and everything because all the Lost Ark stuff we've been consuming lately. And yeah, that guy's great. He's hilarious.
He actually made me want to buy Elden Ring, which is wild because I've never played a Souls game in my life.
A Souls game, yeah.
And I've never really wanted to, but
right.
It's like, well,
I have no desire to play that game at all. I don't. I mean, they're okay. The Souls games are okay, but I have no desire to play that game at all. I think Cameron said he's gonna buy it.
I was thinking about it. I don't know yet. It's still a Souls game. I don't know. It's just like
not your thing.
It's just there to piss you off. I feel like in the end of the day. But...
exactly. But okay, so how is that any different than Tarkov? Let's be real.
I get more satisfaction from shooting people in the face than hitting them with a sword. So
I agree.
But another one, since we have been playing a lot of Lost Ark. If you ever get into, there's a guy called Bajira. I think that's his name. Fuck, I can't remember. It's something like that. He is a WoW player. He's been playing WoW a long time. And he is a weightlifter. Like he's jacked. Like he does competitions for that. And he's a badass at MMOs. He's been playing a lot of Lost Ark, and I just love he's super chill, really nice guy. He does workout streams, and then he plays Lost Ark for the rest of the day. It's pretty cool if you ever want to watch like a badass chill dude that could easily rip your face off if he wanted to. He really nice, cool guy to watch. So he kind of reminds me of Deadly a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of Deadly, did you watch that podcast with Deadly on it?
No, I haven't got.
You haven't watched it yet? That was good. Yeah, you need to check that out. It was super good. And then kind of along that line too, has the on that podcast, they talk about what Veritas has been working on, and I can't wait to see it because it sounds like he's going hard on the audio stuff. So I don't know if it's out yet, but he said it's the biggest script that he's ever written for a video before. So
fucking audio. I mean, is he going over like people saying that compression's cheating, or is he going over like how fucked up the audio is?
No, it's basically how bad the audio is and all the things. So he's been doing a bunch of stuff with like testing distances on and off, and also like soft skill stuff,
So he's going
like the
through
perception, soft
Oh,
skill, yeah,
good.
and all that kind of stuff. So they went in and talked about a bunch of that stuff. It's not out yet. I just jumped on his page to see if he's put it out yet, but it's not. So, but
That would
yeah,
be a good video.
so yeah, that'll be a killer video, because I do like we talked about in that past podcast. I do love watching his videos when he does that kind of stuff. Right, the whole one he did on AI was amazing. I loved it.
It was a great video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. They talk about it a bunch with Deadly.
Sweet. And then some other like real mainstream media I just want to talk about is Reacher. Have you watched that yet? It's on Amazon Prime. Really good show. It's like
You
Jack
just like
Ryan.
it because it's Thad Castle.
Shut up. It's like
And Thad Castle is your spirit animal.
No, but he's actually like super serious. Like he doesn't fuck around in this one.
Okay.
So it's like juxtaposition, because it's not Thad Castle, but it's the same actor. And dude, that guy is ripped. Holy shit! I didn't realize he was 6'5".
Yeah, he's a big boy.
He's a big boy. But if you ever get a chance, watch that. It was a pretty good show. So I think we're wrapping it up, right? We're good to go.
Yeah, I think that's it, man.
All right. Well, I appreciate
we actually gonna get some raids in Tarkov this week.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
I need to do dailies still.
I'm gonna. I will do dailies as well. On Lost Ark, I'm not giving up on it completely, but I'm bored of it. Other than the dailies, so I'm gonna go do other things now, and Tarkov's at the top of the list. So
yeah.
However, I will say this: I do enjoy PvP, and I'll wait till you're done drinking your beer.
Yep.
I want to play League of Legends again because of it. I'm just saying it sparked that League thing back in me because of their PvP, and I really enjoy the PvP in Lost Ark. It's fun. I just wish if there was some way to reward the main game by playing PvP in Lost Ark, I would still be playing that game.
I agree.
But there's nothing, you don't get anything out of playing PvP for your main character or anything like that.
Yep.
So it's like I like playing it, but I'm not going to load up that game just to play PvP.
Yeah, because
what I'll do is I'll get on, I'll do my dailies, and then I'll play a couple of arena matches, and then I'm out. That's where I'm at with that game right now, because I just can't be bothered to do the islands. I'm bored as shit of the quest, and I can't do the quest anyway, the main line, until I get to item level 600 anyway. Yep. So and I can't get to item level 600 because I can't be bothered to do the fucking islands.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So you're trying to do dailies.
I'm weight restricted on my dailies, so that's what I'm gonna do.
Yep. Well, thanks for talking to me for a while.
Oh yeah.
Thank you guys for watching. We appreciate it.
All 5 or 6 of you that watched the first episode.
I think it was 9, dude. I think we hit 9.
Holy shit, we haven't gotten.
Even though it was probably 6 between me and you, and then some randoms that clicked on the wrong video. But
hey, if you stayed for a while, thanks, appreciate it.
Oh, Caleb posted commented on the video and said,
"Oh shit, we got a comment, huh?"
He said, "Meet Shield 2 down," so that's pretty funny. But yeah, we appreciate everybody that's watched. A like is appreciated. I'm not gonna fucking ask for them because last time I got roasted for it, but it is appreciated.
Oh, hit the like and subscribe. I understand.
Yeah. And,
I was just giving you shit last time. Yeah, comment. Definitely comment. Tell us how bad we suck. Tell us what we could do better. Anything. We'll take any. We're not snowflakes. You can roast us if you want to. I don't give a shit. It doesn't hurt my feelings. So
I know
if you need to. Asmola, as someone likes to say. Same.
And then comments if you guys want us to bring up a topic or anything like that. We'll gladly talk about anything that Tarkov related or not even. So we appreciate everybody that watches. Thank you.
See you.